Hello, dear listener. Take a deep breath. Feel your chest rise and fall slowly, gently. Allow your eyes to close. If they haven't already, let your body sink deeper into your bed or wherever you're resting tonight. Notice the soft weight of your blanket, the quiet sounds of the evening, maybe a distant breeze outside your window, or the hush of your own slow breathing. Feel your body becoming heavier with each breath. Feel the muscles of your face relax. Your jaw unclenches. Your shoulders drop. Your arms resting softly at your sides. With every exhale, you drift a little deeper into calmness. You are safe. You are warm. You are here in this gentle moment. And now, as you breathe softly, let's begin our journey. Our story tonight begins in a quiet valley, far beyond the cobblestone roads of your waking world. In a village so small, it does not appear on any map. A place of stone cottages with mossy roofs, where the moon's silver light pools like water across old stone walls, and where, at the edge of a dark forest, there lies a secret garden known only to those who dream. This is the moonlit garden of the Herb Witch. Tonight, the garden sleeps beneath a sky of deep midnight blue, and the old Herb Witch, with silver hair spilling from her hood, moves slowly among rows of curious, ancient plants. She steps softly so as not to wake the sleeping herbs. Her slippers press into the dewy grass, each blade bending, cool and slick beneath her feet. Above, the moon hangs low and bright, casting shadows that sway like dancers in the gentle night wind. You hear the faint rustle of leaves overhead, the soothing sigh of distant pines, the occasional hoot of an owl, soft and distant, all blending into a quiet lullaby of the night. She reaches out to stroke the soft, heart-shaped leaves of valerian, whispering to them in a language older than the village itself, a language of sighs, breezes, and the hush of midnight rain. Did you know that in the 15th century, apothecaries harvested valerian root to brew sleepy draughts for restless souls? Valerian, with its sweet, earthy scent, was believed to chase nightmares away. And here, under the moonlight, its pale flowers look like tiny stars, resting on green stalks. Further down the garden path, the herb witch stops beside a bed of mandrake. Their dark, broad leaves curl like shadows upon the earth. In the old days, they said mandrake roots could scream when pulled from the ground, a cry so piercing it could steal your breath. But here, in this gentle garden, they only hum softly, a vibration you can almost feel, like a lullaby in the soles of your feet. She kneels beside the mandrake, and the earth smells rich and damp, cool, living soil that cradles every root like an old friend. She hums a tune known only to the midnight herbs, a song of stars and candlelight, of dreams carried by the hush of night winds. A breeze drifts across the garden, carrying the scent of crushed lavender and sweet marjoram. The air is thick with the perfume of night-blooming flowers. You feel it swirl around you, a silken veil of fragrance, inviting you to breathe deeper, slower, letting each inhale pull you further into peace, and each exhale release all the worries of your day. The herb witch stands again, her eyes glinting like polished amber in the moonlight. She moves to a small stone bench at the center of the garden, and there she lights a single beeswax candle. Its flame flickers softly, casting golden halos in the night. The gentle crackle of the wick becomes the heartbeat of the garden. Steady, warm, comforting, she sits upon the bench, and from a basket woven of reeds, she removes tiny vials, each filled with potions of color of fog and starlight. She murmurs blessings over them, words that sound like raindrops on old rooftops, words that seem to wrap around you, cradling you in their quiet power. Did you know that in medieval villages, witches and wise women were often called upon to make dream potions for those plagued by dark visions? These potions, crafted with plants like valerian, poppy, and chamomile, were believed to open the gates of peaceful sleep, to shield the mind from restless shadows. She dips a wooden spoon into a small cauldron, stirring a blend of warm milk and honey, laced with drops of her potion. The steam rises, curling in the moonlight like pale, drifting ghosts, carrying the sweet scent of comfort, reminding you of soft blankets, of hearts glowing in the dark, of stories told in hushed voices before bed. As the herb witch stirs, she begins to hum again, a melody so soft it melts into the sigh of leaves overhead. It is a song without words, a song that tells you it is safe to rest, that here, in this moonlit garden, you are protected, you are cherished, you are free to surrender to sleep. She pours the warm drink into a clay cup, cradles it between her gnarled hands, then lifts it to the sky, a silent offering to the moon, whose silver gaze bathes the garden in peace. The leaves shimmer faintly, like 1,000 tiny mirrors, each reflecting starlight, each pulsing in time with your slow, steady breathing. You notice how your eyelids feel heavier, your thoughts drifting like clouds across a quiet night sky. The herb witch lowers the steaming cup, the scent of warm milk and wild honey floating like a soft cloud around you. She smiles, a gentle curve of her lips almost lost in the shadows of her hood. She knows you are here, even if you can't see her face clearly. She knows you are listening, heart open, mind softening. She stands once more, her steps unhurried. She walks to the edge of the garden, where an ancient stone archway rises from the earth. Twisting vines of ivy climb its weathered stones, leaves rustling like tiny whispers with every breath of wind. Beyond the archway lies the forest, tall oaks and dark firs reaching up into the night, their branches netting the stars. But tonight, the herb witch does not venture into the forest. Tonight, she remains here in the safety of the moonlit garden. She lights more candles, one by one, until soft pools of golden light dance across the stone path, each flame flickering in rhythm with your breath, each flame a gentle reminder. You are safe, you are warm, you are loved. She bends to tend the chamomile flowers, their tiny white petals glowing like pearls against the dark soil. She runs her fingers across them, releasing their sweet apple-like scent into the night air. Did you know that medieval herbalists prized chamomile, not just for easing fevers and stomach aches, but for its power to calm troubled hearts, to soothe minds before sleep? Feel that calmness now. Let the scent of chamomile drift around you. Imagine each breath pulling that serenity deeper inside you, filling your chest with softness, smoothing every thought until your mind becomes quiet, like a still lake under starlight. In the distance, you hear the gentle babble of a brook, its silver water winding to the garden's far edge. The sound blends with the whisper of leaves, the song of crickets, the low hoot of a sleepy owl. Together, they weave a lullaby of the earth itself, a lullaby older than any story, a lullaby sung by night breezes to all who seek rest. The herb witch steps onto a mossy stone at the brook's edge. She dips her hands into the cool, clear water, ripples spread in shimmering rings, catching the moonlight like liquid glass. She cups the water, lets it slip between her fingers, and as it falls, it sounds like tiny silver bells. So soft, so delicate, each drop ringing out a note of peace. She whispers a blessing to the brook, a promise that its waters will carry dreams of gentle nights and bright dawns. To every thirsty root and every sleeping creature in the forest, you can almost feel the blessing brush across your skin, like the lightest touch of rain. She turns back to garden, her robes rustling like dry leaves in autumn. She walks past the tall stalks of foxglove, their purple bells swaying gently. Did you know that medieval folk once called foxglove witches' gloves, believing that fairies hid inside the blossoms? That its leaves, though deadly in the wrong hands, were sometimes used by cunning healers to calm a heart beating too quickly? Now, feel your own heart. Notice how it slows with each breath, steady and soft, in perfect time with the gentle sway of foxglove flowers in the moonlight. She moves on, past clumps of soft green mint, the scent fresh and cool. She crushes a sprig between her fingers, releasing its crisp perfume into the air. She lets it drift toward you, inviting you to breathe deeper, to feel the fresh, tingly coolness slide down your throat, relaxing every muscle. The herb witch hums again, her voice low and comforting. A song older than the village. A song learned from grandmothers and grandfathers who once stood in this very garden. A song sung to lull babies in wooden cradles, to soothe farmers after long days in the fields. A song to ease the fears of travelers who wandered into the village at dusk, seeking shelter. She sings of moonlight and silver streams, of soft moss and drowsy stars, of the way the night wraps the world in a velvet blanket, protecting every living thing. As she sings, you see the garden transform. The candle flames flicker and grow, casting halos that seem afloat in the night air. The leaves of every plant turn slightly, as if leaning closer to hear the witch's lullaby. Fireflies drift lazily between the stalks, their tiny lights pulsing like sleepy heartbeats. She tells the story of the first herb witch who came to this garden centuries ago. A quiet woman who learned the language of plants from the forest spirits, who would discover how to mix valerian with warm milk to end nightmares, who taught villagers that even the most bitter herbs can heal when offered with kindness. Her voice is like a warm blanket around your shoulders. She speaks of the moon, how it has watched over this garden for countless nights, how its light holds a magic of its own, how it guides travelers home and guards the dreams of children. She reminds you that you, too, are part of this old, quiet world, that the same moon shining over the herb witch's garden shines over your resting place now, that you are connected to every leaf, every ripple, every breath of night air. You feel your body relaxing even more, your arms heavy, your legs loose and warm, your breath slow and deep, a gentle weight pulling you down into the softness beneath you. The herb witch's song continues, a lullaby of ancient times, a story carried on the sigh of the wind, through the rustle of leaves, through the soft, rhythmic crackle of candles burning low. The herb witch's voice drifts across the garden like a ribbon of smoke, wrapping every leaf, every petal, every blade of grass in soft comfort. She hums a tune so delicate it could almost be mistaken for the hush of the night breeze, a tune that guides you deeper into stillness, a tune that makes time feel slow and heavy, like the last moments before sleep takes hold. She moves to a cluster of night-blooming jasmine, the flowers opening like stars across dark green vines. Their scent is heady and sweet, drifting through the garden in gentle waves. It curls around you, settles in your chest, and carries your thoughts far from your day's worries. Did you know that in medieval Spain, night-blooming jasmine was sometimes planted outside bedroom windows to perfume the night air and ease the dreams of those who slept within? Imagine that now. Feel yourself resting near an open window. Cool night air tinged with jasmine. The world outside is hushed, and every breath carries you further into peace. She plucks a single bloom and places it in a wooden bowl of cool spring water. The petals float on the surface, catching the flicker of candlelight. Their pale reflections shimmer like tiny moons on the water's skin. She dips her fingers in, stirring slowly, and the bowl sings a soft, hollow note with each swirl. The sound blends with the hum of crickets and the gentle rush of the brook. Each layer of sound wraps you in quiet harmony, each note inviting you to sink deeper into the night's embrace. She sets the bowl on a flat stone and sprinkles lavender buds across the water, tiny purple flowers that drift lazily, releasing their soothing, powdery scent. Did you know that in medieval convents, lavender was woven into pillows to comfort nuns and monks at bedtime, believed to keep nightmares at bay and invite holy, peaceful dreams? She begins to speak softly, voice low and tender, as if sharing a secret with the stars. She tells of how dreams are caught in the delicate threads of spider webs spun across the garden, how each drop of morning dew holds a piece of the night's stories, how the moon listens to every dream whispered beneath its light, keeping them safe until dawn. She tells of small creatures who wander through the garden under cover of darkness, the hedgehog snuffling beneath the sage bushes, the slow toad blinking sleepily on a mossy stone, the field mouse that pauses, whiskers quivering to sip from the brook, each one a part of the garden's secret world, each one cradled by the quiet power of the night. As she speaks, you hear the gentle patter of leaves shifting in the breeze, A single drop of dew falls from a leaf, landing with a soft, musical plink on the stone path. The sound echoes slightly, as though the garden itself is singing you to sleep. The herb witch moves along the row of rosemary, brushing her hands through the soft, fragrant sprigs. She crushes a bit between her fingers, releasing a warm, piney scent. Did you know that in medieval folklore, rosemary was a symbol of remembrance and protection, often tucked into pillows or burned in hearth fires to bless a home? She sprinkles rosemary needles into the candle flames, and they hiss quietly, sending tiny curls of aromatic smoke swirling into the night air. You watch the smoke dance above the candles, twisting slowly like silver ribbons, each curl rising higher before dissolving into stars. The herb witch's voice grows softer, more distant, like it's floating to you from the far end of a dream. She speaks of how every dream begins as a seed planted in the heart of night, how the moon's light coaxes it to grow, how dawn's gentle glow unfurls each dream's petals until it blossoms in your sleeping mind. She turns back to you, though you can only sense her presence, her eyes warm and kind. She lifts her hands, palms open, and whispers words older than the garden itself, words like drifting feathers, so light they seem to float on the night air, words that promise you are watched over, that you are cared for, that no shadow can touch you in this place of silver light and soft earth. The garden grows even quieter. The brook's bubbling slows. The breeze hushes to a soft sigh. Even the owl's hoot grows softer, more muffled, as if the world itself is falling asleep. Above, the stars shimmer lazily, their light pulsing in slow, dreamy rhythms. The moon slides through a thin veil of cloud, its light becoming softer, more diffuse. Everything feels wrapped in layers of stillness, like the world has been tucked under a thick, comforting quilt. The herb witch returns to her stone bench. She gathers her robe around her and sits watching the candle flames sway. Her breathing is slow, deep, and peaceful, and with each breath you take, you feel your body matching her rhythm. Steadier, softer, more relaxed with every inhale, more at peace with every exhale. She hums again, her melody now a lullaby of the deepest night, a song of shadows and silver, of dreams gliding through silent forests, of starlight dancing on sleeping rivers. You notice your eyelids growing heavier, thoughts stretching and drifting apart, a warm, comforting weight pressing you deeper into your bed, a soft fog filling your mind, blurring the edges of the waking world. The garden begins to fade around you, not into darkness, but into a gentle, silvery mist, a mist that cradles you, holds you, that carries you softly toward sleep. The herb witch's final words drift to you, softer than a whisper. Rest now. You are safe. You are loved. Let the moon guard your dreams. Let the garden song carry you far, far away. The garden's mist grows thicker, like a veil of silver gauze settling over every flower, every candle, every pebble in the path. It softens the flickering light, so the flames blur into warm halos that sway gently with each breath of wind. The rustling leaves sound farther away now, like memories of a lullaby drifting from a dream you're not sure you had. Your body feels heavy and warm, like it's sinking into the softest bed of moss. A sense of quiet stretches out before you, wide and endless, inviting you to let go of everything you carried through your day. The herb witch sits perfectly still, hands resting in her lap, eyes half closed as though she herself is slipping into a gentle doze. But even as sleep tugs at her, she remains watchful, a silent guardian of every sleeping creature nestled among the garden's twisting vines and velvet petals. A soft breeze drifts through the mist, carrying the scent of sweet woodruff. Crushed under the witch's steps earlier, its aroma is cool and creamy, like fresh-cut hay and wild strawberries, wrapping around your senses like a silken shawl. Did you know that medieval peasants once scattered sweet woodruff across their straw beds to sweeten the air and chase away insects, a simple, comforting ritual that made humble homes feel safe and warm? Feel that sense of homely safety now. Imagine yourself curled beneath thick quilts in a timber-framed cottage, a small fire flickering in the hearth. The night outside hushed, the garden's soft song just beyond your window. The witch lifts a delicate wooden flute carved from elderwood, a pale, slender instrument etched with runes so old they've been worn smooth by time. She raises it to her lips and breathes a single note into the night. It rises like a silver thread, soft and pure, spiraling into the mist. Another note follows, and another, each one floating higher, weaving a melody so gentle it feels like a lullaby sung by the moon itself. Each note carries you farther from the waking world. Each note softens your thoughts, like waves smoothing stones on a quiet shore. The owl's call grows distant, a soft echo bouncing through the misty garden. The candles burn lower, their flames shrinking to tiny embers that glow like sleepy fireflies. You hear the soft tap of a droplet falling from the tip of a curling leaf, each drip a heartbeat of the night, slow and steady. The witch's song through the flute drifts into a dreamy pattern. She plays of quiet meadows lit only by fireflies, of secret streams winding through hidden groves, of silver-haired foxes slinking between moonlit stones, of nights so still you could hear the stars whispering to each other across the sky. You feel the pull of sleep deepening, your body sinking lower, your mind unwinding like a ball of yarn rolling into soft darkness. The flute's melody grows softer, like a distant echo. The witch lowers it from her lips, letting the final notes fade into the hush of the garden. She breathes deeply, the sound slow and steady, like waves brushing a sandy shore. She begins to whisper once more, voice barely louder than the breeze. Let go of your worries. Let them melt into the mist. Feel each breath carry you closer to dreams, each exhale releasing all the tightness in your chest, all the lingering thoughts that try to follow you into sleep. She reaches for a bundle of fresh herbs, sprigs of thyme and wild marjoram bound with silver thread. She waves it gently through the air, the leaves brushing each other with a soft hiss. The aroma rises warm and earthy, carrying hints of sunlit meadows and morning rain. Did you know that medieval households often burned marjoram on cold nights to protect their homes from restless spirits, believing its smoke would ward off bad dreams? She holds a smoking bundle above her head, letting the tendrils of fragrant smoke curl around her, then drift outward across the garden, through the mist, reaching you where you rest. Feel it now, a warm, soothing wave rolling over you, as if every breath you take draws peace deeper into your heart. The mist grows denser still, but it is never cold or frightening. It feels soft, like drifting through clouds. Each whisper cushion to catch you if you fall too quickly towards sleep. Above, the stars shine brighter as the moon climbs higher. The constellations wheel slowly, each star tracing a slow dance across the velvet sky. The witch lifts her gaze, eyes reflecting the silver pinpricks of light. She seems to be reading an old story in those stars. A tale of knights who once crossed sleeping meadows, of queens who kept gardens blooming through the deepest winters, of children who fell asleep to stories whispered by kind grandmothers under these same constellations. She lowers her eyes to you again, voice softer than ever. Sleep now, child of the night. Sleep as the moon watches over you. Sleep with the garden's blessing around you. Sleep knowing you are never alone. Your breathing slows even further. A calm weight pools in your chest, spreading warm tendrils through every limb. The world beyond your bed fades to a distant memory. The last things you sense are the rustle of leaves in the moonlit garden, the fading scent of warm herbs, the soft, rhythmic beat of your own heart in time with the witch's lullaby. The mist around the garden grows softer still, like downy feathers drifting on a silent breeze. You feel yourself wrapped in its warmth, every breath pulling you deeper into the velvet darkness of night. The herb witch sits quietly, her eyes half-lidded as though she, too, is perched at the very edge of sleep. She lifts a small bell carved from bronze, its surface etched with curling vines and tiny flowers. She holds it up to the moonlight so it catches a pale gleam, then gives it the gentlest shake. The bell's sound rings out soft and pure, a clear, sweet tone that lingers in the air like a thread of light woven through the mist. The bell's note seems to ripple through your body, brushing away the last tightness in your shoulders, easing the last restless flickers in your mind. Each chime fades slowly, sinking you deeper into tranquility. Did you know that in medieval villages, small bells were sometimes rung at bedtime to chase away wandering spirits and mark the day's peaceful end? This was called the curfew bell, a word from the old French couvre-feu, meaning cover the fire, a reminder to bank hearth flames and keep the village safe through the night. The herb witch sets the bell on a flat stone, where it catches a glow of the guttering candles. She picks up a soft brush made from lavender stems bound in twine. With gentle strokes, she sweeps the air before her, as if brushing away unseen worries. Each pass of the brush sending the scent of lavender drifting toward you. Feel that scent now. Cool, floral, a gentle wave washing across your senses. With each inhale, you feel lighter. With each exhale, more of your day slips quietly into shadows. A hush settles over the garden like a thick, comforting quilt. No creature stirs. The brook's babble slows to a slow trickle. Even the breeze seems to pause, holding its breath with you. The herb witch reaches for a small clay pot, lifting its lid with care. Inside is a paste of crushed poppy petals, pale and pink as dawn's first light. She dips her finger in and draws a rune on a smooth stone at her feet. A simple spiral, ancient and mysterious, glowing faintly in the moon's gaze. She whispers softly of the poppy's power. How in medieval times, healers mixed poppy milk with honey to make sleep potions. For fevered children and soldiers who could not find rest. How poppies were planted at the edges of village fields to remind weary farmers. That peace would always come with nightfall. She sets the stone among the valerian, the spiral catching flickers of starlight. She leans back on her bench, hands resting on her knees, breath slow and steady. The mist thickens into a gentle blanket. It settles across the garden like soft snow, muffling every sound until only your breath remains. The candles burn lower still, flames shrinking to dull orange coals. A final glow of warmth before they wink out one by one. Each extinguished candle, another invitation to drift deeper into sleep. The garden grows darker, but never frightening. The darkness here is soft, like the deep blue of a favorite blanket. A quiet place where the moon's light wraps everything in silver threads of safety. Above, the stars shimmer in a slow, sleepy waltz across the heavens. Each twinkle a lullaby note for your soul. Each constellation a reminder that you are part of something ancient, vast, and endlessly gentle. The herb witch begins to hum again. Her voice blends with the breeze, the cricket's song, the quiet sigh of the earth. It's a lullaby of stone and leaf, of moon and mist, a song without words, yet it speaks to the oldest part of your heart. She sings of journeys taken across sleeping fields, of lanterns swaying softly on midnight roads, of feather beds piled high with quilts that smell of rosemary and thyme, of dreams that bloom in secret gardens, only opening their petals when night is deepest and quietest. You feel your breath growing so slow and deep it barely stirs the air. Your body sinks even heavier, like a stone settling into soft sand. Your thoughts stretch out into long, drowsy strands. Every sound becomes a soft murmur at the edge of your awareness. The herb witch's voice lowers to a murmur. Sleep now, child of starlight. Sleep as the moon guards you, as the garden's gentle mist cradles you, as the dreams of herbs and old stones drift around you like falling petals. She raises her hands, palms glowing faintly in the moon's light. She cups them over her heart, then opens them wide, sending a final blessing through the mist. A wave of calm rolls out from her, warm and soft. A final hush that settles over the garden like a kiss goodnight. The last candle winks out. The garden becomes a place of moonlight and silver mist alone. A world wrapped in softness. A world where nothing can harm you, where every dream is gentle, and every breath draws you deeper into perfect rest. The moon reaches its highest point, a perfect silver coin hanging in the velvet sky. Its light spills softly through the drifting mist, weaving delicate patterns across the herb witch's robes. She sits unmoving, like a statue of kindness carved from moonstone, her breathing slow and even. A low breeze stirs a mist, sending it swirling in gentle eddies through the garden. It brushes your cheeks like cool silk, kisses your eyelids with each pass. Each swirl of mist carries a sense of crushed herbs, old earth, and sweet night air. Each breath you take now feels slower, deeper, more dream-heavy than the last. From somewhere beyond the garden's stone walls comes a faint croak of a frog, soft and steady, a single voice keeping time in the hush of night. It blends with the whisper of the brook, the sigh of leaves, and the faint echo of the herb witch's last hum, still lingering in the air like a fading bell. She rises slowly from her bench, robes whispering over the grass. She walks the garden paths with careful steps, touching each plant one last time, a brush of her fingers on foxglove's drooping bells, a stroke along the silvery leaves of sage, a soft pat on the rounded bushes of rosemary. Each touch sends a shimmer of moonlight along the plant's edges, as if the garden itself is saying goodnight, as if every leaf, every petal, every blade of grass knows it's time to drift into slumber. Did you know that in some medieval villages, people believed their gardens dreamed with them, that the plants would rest through the night, and that a kind word or a gentle touch before bed would help herbs grow strong and healthy come morning? Feel that kindness in your heart now. Feel it spread through you like warm light, a soft, glowing peace that soothes every corner of your mind. The herb witch comes to the edge of the garden near the stone archway. She places a single white stone at its base, smooth and round, cool with the night's dew, a small talisman of protection, meant to keep shadows at bay until dawn. She whispers over it words as old as the hills beyond the village, words that feel like the hush of midnight wind, like the soft rustle of owl wings overhead. Rest now, all who dream beneath the sky. Let the moon's light keep you safe. Let the mist carry your worries away. She turns, her eyes soft and shining in the moonlight, her face lined but serene. Every wrinkle a story of night spent in quiet gardens like this one. She crosses back to the stone bench, folds her hands in her lap, and lets her gaze drift upward, watching the stars roll slowly across the sky. You feel the heaviness of sleep settling more firmly now, your limbs warm and loose, your mind emptying of stray thoughts, your breath so quiet it barely stirs the cool night air. Above you, constellations glow, the hunter, his silver bow drawn, the swan, wings spread wide in flight, the crown, a circle of tiny diamonds glinting softly, each star a point of ancient light, each one a promise that the night is vast but gentle, that you are not alone under the sky. The mist thickens into soft clouds drifting low across the garden floor. Fireflies flicker between the mist and the moonlight, their tiny lamps blinking slow and sleepy, each pulse like a heartbeat of the night itself. The herb witch's eyes close halfway, her breathing slowing even more. She becomes as still as the ancient oak at the garden's edge, an old friend standing watch, its branches stretched wide like protective arms. The brook's song slows, the trickling water becoming a soft, steady murmur. The leaves barely stir. A hush deeper than before settles over everything, like the earth itself has taken a long, contented sigh. She whispers once more, voice lower than the rustling mist. May your dreams be as gentle as the falling dew. May the stars guide you safely through the night. May the moon cradle you until the sun's first light. Feel your mind now, floating on the edge of dreams. See how thoughts drift apart like autumn leaves on a still pond. Sense how your breath moves slow and deep, each inhale pulling you further from the waking world, each exhale softening you into perfect peace. The garden fades behind a veil of silvery fog. Its shapes become softer, less distinct, the witch's form growing faint like the last note of a lullaby carried away on the breeze. All that remains is the feeling of warmth around you, the soft echo of her blessing in your heart, and the sweet scent of night-blooming herbs drifting across your dreams. The moon shines on, steadfast and gentle, casting its calm light over the village, the garden, and you, sleeping now, safe in a world where only soft shadows and kind whispers remain. The silver mist wraps the garden in a soft cocoon, thick enough now that the outlines of plants and stones fade into pale shapes. Every sound grows muffled, like the world is cushioned in thick wool. You feel the hush settle inside you, a quiet so deep it seems to slow your very thoughts. The herb witch breathes softly, each rise and fall of her chest matching the slow rhythm of your own. She opens her eyes to gaze at the stars, their cold, clear light reflecting in her kind, knowing gaze. She sees every dream taking shape, every heart finding rest beneath the moon. She knows the stories whispered tonight will carry warmth into many mornings to come. She lowers her gaze back to the earth and begins to gather fallen leaves, each one soft and cool, smelling of dark, rich soil. She places them carefully in a small wooden bowl, layering them with tiny white blossoms of wild chamomile. The scent that rises is delicate, like apples and honey, sweetening the air around you. Did you know that in medieval Europe, chamomile was sometimes called ground apple and was strewn across floors so that every footstep released a calming scent to ease the mind? She crushes the leaves and flowers gently between her palms, releasing a burst of warmth and fragrance that drifts on the still night air. You can almost feel it brush your cheeks, a soft cloud of peace that invites you to sink even deeper into your pillow. She moves slowly across the garden, her feet soundless on the damp grass, mist curling around her robes like a living thing, her hand trailing lightly over the tops of moonlit marigolds, tiny orbs of gold among the silver. A last spark of warmth before night fully claims the garden. Did you know that marigolds were once called Mary's gold in honor of the Virgin Mary? And medieval people believed their petals protected homes from lightning and storms? Their bright flowers, even in the night's pale glow, feel like little lanterns of hope, reminding you that comfort is always close, even in the darkest hours. She plucks a marigold, tucking it into a pouch at her waist, a token of the garden's promise to see you safely through the morning. She returns to her stone bench, lowers herself slowly, and closes her eyes again. Her breath deepens, becomes almost imperceptible, and the garden seems to hold its own breath in gentle anticipation. You hear a soft murmur of crickets begin again, a rhythmic, sleepy chorus blending with the low gurgle of the brook. The sounds fill the air like a soft blanket, a lullaby sung by the earth itself. Above, the moon glides across the sky, slipping between thin, drifting clouds, each wisp catching its light, turning pale silver before dissolving into the darkness. The stars drift lazily, their shimmering light forming quiet rivers of brightness overhead. They seem to sway in the sky, rocking you gently like a cradle of constellations. Your body feels heavy and warm, so deeply relaxed you barely notice the world beyond your slow, steady breath. Your thoughts drift like autumn leaves, spiraling downward into the soft, dark waters of sleep. Each breath carries you deeper, until even the herb witch's garden feels like a fading dream. Yet still you feel the hush of the garden around you, the hush of ancient stones, of old, wise plants, of moonlight that has watched over sleeping travelers for countless generations. The herb witch stirs once more, raising her face to the moon, her lips moving in a final blessing carried on the faintest breath of night air. Sleep, dreamer of the quiet hour, may your dreams be gentle and deep. May your heart wake lighter than it slept. May peace wrap around you like the softest cloak. She opens her hands to the sky, letting the last glow of the candles fade from her palms. A sign that the garden's work is done, that the night has gathered all its wandering souls into safe, warm rest. The mist thickens again, settling across the ground like a downy blanket, muffling every rustle of leaves, every whisper of water, until only the soft beat of your heart remains, steady and slow. The stars overhead shine on, 1,000 tiny eyes watching over your sleep, each one a promise that you are never alone under the vast, gentle sky. The moon, pale and patient, holds you in its quiet gaze, a silent guardian of your dreams, keeping the darkness warm and kind. And so you drift on a tide of moonlight, carried through the silver mist of the herb witch's garden, far beyond the reach of daylight, deeper into soft, quiet slumber. You are safe, you are warm, you are loved. The mist becomes a gentle fog of silver and pearl, swirling slowly, wrapping each candle stub, every petal, every blade of cool grass in its hush. The garden is now a place of only shapes and glimmers. No sharp edges, only the soft, sleepy blending of light and shadow. It feels as if time itself is slowed, every second stretching long and languid like the deep breath of the earth. The herb witch's breathing matches the rhythm of the stars overhead. Slow, deep, calm. She sits so still she could be mistaken for a part of the old stone bench, or for a statue carved long ago to honor the quiet magic of this moonlit place. The garden sounds become a tapestry of peace. The brook's steady murmur, lower now as if it too is falling asleep. The faint, rhythmic hum of crickets, their song like a soft blanket for your mind. The hush of leaves overhead, only stirring when the night breathes. A thin cloud drifts across the moon, the light turning pale and diffuse. Silver mist swells and fades in gentle waves, flowing around you like warm ocean water, lulling you deeper into your bed. The herb witch opens her eyes once more, not sharply, but like someone surfacing slowly from a sweet dream. She lifts her hand, palm up, as if to catch the moonlight trickling down. She closes her fingers around it, as if gathering a piece of the sky just for you. She whispers, voice soft as a feather landing on moss. Let the moon's light follow you into your dreams. Let it chase away all shadows. Let it fill your sleep with quiet wonder. She reaches into her pouch and draws out a tiny sachet, stitched with pale thread. She cradles it in her hands, humming softly as she holds it over the mist. The scent that rises is rich and sweet. Lavender, marjoram, hints of crushed mint. Did you know that in medieval times, healers gave such sachets to travelers setting out on long journeys, so their sleep on the road would be free of bad dreams and their hearts would stay brave? She sets the sachet on the stone beside her, a gift for you, a promise that when you wake, a trace of this garden's peace will remain with you, a soft shield you can carry back into the busy light of day. A sudden hush falls, even deeper than before. The brook slows to a near silence. The cricket song softens, and the air grows so still you can almost hear the beat of your own heart in the quiet. It is the moment just before true sleep takes you, the sweet tipping point between waking and dreaming. The herb witch leans back against the bench, her head resting on the worn stone, her eyes half closed, her breath rising and falling like a gentle tide. She begins a final lullaby, spoken rather than sung, each word slow and soft, each syllable like a pebble dropped into still water, sending ripples of calm through the garden. And through you, sleep, little one, beneath the silver sky. Sleep where stars keep their watch. Sleep while the moon holds you in its quiet light. Dream of gardens where every leaf hums a lullaby. Dream of streams that whisper your name with kindness. Dream of dawns that greet you with warmth and peace. Her words grow slower, drifting between pauses longer than the last, like stones spaced further apart across a still pond. You feel your mind floating between them, gently carried forward by each soft ripple sound. The mist begins to glow faintly where it catches the moonlight, turning to pale ribbons that weave themselves into your dreams, bridging the garden's soft world with the dark comfort of your deepest sleep. A single owl calls from far beyond the garden's walls, its voice a hollow, echoing note of night, but not lonely, only timeless, a reminder that the night stretches far and wide, and that you are safe within it. The herb witch lowers her hands into her lap, eyes closing fully now, breath so slow and even that it fades into the garden's hush. Her presence becomes a feeling rather than a sight, a warm, steady comfort that wraps around you like the softest blanket. The last thing you sense is the tender weight of sleep pressing you down, your limbs sinking into your bed, your thoughts drifting beyond reach, your breath a slow, peaceful tide. The garden melts away into darkness, not empty darkness, but full of gentle warmth and soft, drifting dreams. The moonlight fades to a pale glow that seems to settle inside your chest, a tiny light you can carry with you into every dream. And the herb witch's final blessing echoes like a memory in your heart. Sleep deeply, dream sweetly, wake gently, And know you are always loved. The mist drifts in soft, lingering wisps across your senses, dimming the garden until only a hazy glow of moonlight remains, a quiet place of warmth and comfort that lives somewhere just behind your eyelids. Your breathing is so slow, now it feels like each inhale draws in the quiet of the garden. Each exhale releases the last worries of the day into the mist. Your chest rises and falls with a steady peace of someone who knows they are safe, who knows that beyond their dreams, a gentle world waits patiently for morning. The herb witch's final hum fades like a soft bell tone slipping below the waves of your mind, leaving only silence, not empty, but full of the gentle hush of night. A silence where the air itself feels thick with calm. Above, the moon has begun its slow descent, its light slanting silver beams across the quiet garden, catching the dewdrops on leaves so they glisten like tiny stars fallen to earth. The garden is still, the night deep and velvet dark, every creature curled in sleep, every petal folded softly shut. You feel as if you're floating now, weightless on a warm current of air that cradles you through the drifting mist, each breath drawing you deeper toward the soft center of a dream. The herb witch's final words linger in the night, like a blessing etched into the stars. Sleep well, sweet dreamer. Rest where no fear can reach you. Let your heart wander gently through meadows of moonlight, and wait to a dawn that greets you with kindness. A single star falls across the sky in a slow, graceful arc, its light a silent promise that wishes whispered at night are carried gently into morning. The last flicker of candles has long gone dark, leaving the garden lit only by the silver wash of the moon. A quiet landscape where every stone, every leaf, every blade of grass seems to breathe in time with you. The mist thickens just enough to blur the world beyond your own breath, softening everything into the simplest, safest shapes. Cool air against your cheek, warmth cocooning your body, a weightless feeling that lets you drift free of every thought. There are no more words now, only the slow, steady rhythm of sleep pulling you into its deepest, calmest currents, where dreams unfold like soft petals in a hidden garden, where the moon's light slips between leaves and dances across your closed eyelids. Your mind feels like it is sinking softly into dark, velvety waters, floating deeper with each breath until even the faintest sounds of the world above fade into silence, a sweet, heavy quiet that promises you nothing will disturb your rest. The garden fades behind a soft curtain of mist and memory, becoming part of your dreams, a quiet refuge you can return to whenever the night feels too long, whenever the day leaves your heart tired or your mind restless. Even as you drift beyond wakefulness, you can feel the warm presence of the herb witch lingering in your dreams, a silent guardian watching over you with the patience of the moon, her whispered blessings echoing through every soft fold of your sleep. And so you float, carried by the night's gentle tide, wrapped in the silver hush of the moonlit garden, until you surrender completely to the quiet, and sleep welcomes you like a soft, endless night sky. And still, the moon hangs above, its light as patient as the tide, its gaze as soft as a lullaby sung by a mother to a child. Every star around it seems to slow its twinkle, their quiet light promising that night will keep you safe. Until the first brush of dawn's gold on the horizon, beneath the moon, the herb witch remains a silent silhouette, her robes blending with the shadows, her breathing slow and calm, a figure of timeless comfort resting at the heart of the sleeping garden. The mist, heavy with midnight's hush, settles more thickly over the stones and soft earth, pooling around the roots of ancient herbs, filling every hollow with silver glow until the garden becomes a floating island of dreams adrift in a dark, star-speckled sea. Your mind wanders to a place beyond words, where thoughts dissolve into drifting lights, where every slow inhale fills you with a sense of belonging, and every exhale releases you deeper into the warm cradle of night. Tiny sounds still thread the silence, a droplet falling into the brook with a soft, musical plink, the almost inaudible brush of misty air sliding past sleeping leaves, the faint, rhythmic beat of your own heart, steady as a lullaby drum calling you deeper into sleep. Even the stars overhead seem to breathe with you, their light pulsing slow and serene. Each pulse a soft invitation to let go, to trust the hush, to drift. A soft breeze stirs the mist for a final time, swirling it like pale silk across the garden floor, pulling the scent of crushed herbs and cool earth into the air. A scent that wraps itself around your dreams like a silken cocoon. Did you know that in medieval times, some believed dreams traveled on night winds, that each gust carried stories from distant lands, and dropped them gently into sleeping minds? Tonight, the breeze carries only peace, whispering tales of quiet gardens and the watchful moon, the herb which finally closes her eyes completely, a smile of quiet satisfaction on her lips, her hands resting folded over her chest, as if even she is ready to slip into the same gentle slumber she's guided you toward all night. In the garden's final hush, no candle flickers, no leaf stirs, no ripple disturbs a brook. Only a perfect stillness remains, a silence so deep and soft it cradles your every breath. And as you drift, you know this place of moonlight and mist will remain inside you, a secret refuge you can return to whenever you wish, a garden beyond time where peace waits patiently for you. So now sleep, sleep knowing you are safe. Sleep with the moon's quiet gaze upon you. Sleep with the hush of 1,000 silver leaves in your dreams. Sleep as deeply and softly as the night itself. Good night, dear dreamer. The garden now feels more like a memory than a place, its shapes dissolving into soft swirls of silver and pale green, the stones, the herbs, the brook all blending into a single, comforting blur. It's as if the garden itself has folded you into its quiet heart, wrapping you in a cocoon of peace that will keep you safe. Until morning's first light spills across your eyelids, you can sense the warmth of the earth beneath you, the cool kiss of the mist on your skin, the gentle press of night air heavy with the fragrance of sleepy blossoms. It's a world where time stretches and softens, where hours feel like moments and moments feel like forever. Above, the moon's arc has begun its slow descent, its light growing softer and warmer, bathing the garden's mist in a gentle, pearly glow, a glow that drips slowly into your dreams, lighting them from within with a soft, silvery radiance. The herb witch's breathing has grown so slow that it feels like part of the garden itself, a gentle rhythm pulsing through roots and stones, a silent lullaby carried on every curl of mist. Your own breath matches hers perfectly now, slow, deep, calm. Each inhale pulls quiet into your lungs. Each exhale releases every last scrap of tension into the night air. In this final hush, you might almost hear the stars themselves, faint, crystalline whispers of old stories, tales of knights who fell asleep beneath this same moon, of villagers who planted dreams along with seeds, of children who dreamed of dragons and awoke laughing in warm beds. You might feel the weight of sleep pressing you down, a sweet, gentle heaviness that starts behind your eyes and rolls down your shoulders, your chest, your hips, your feet, a wave of warmth and softness that leaves you loose and lightless, floating in the dark like a single petal drifting on a still midnight pond. A final hush falls, so complete that even the crickets have grown silent, as if the night itself is holding its breath to keep your sleep undisturbed. The mist curls tighter around you, swirling once, twice, 3 times in soft loops, each loop softer than the last, each loop a promise of protection and comfort that will last until the sun warms the world once more. The herb witch's final words, so quiet they're almost part of the mist, reach you just before you slip past the edge of dreams. Rest now, dreamer. Sleep beneath the watchful sky. Know you are loved. Know you are safe. Know you are home. And with that, the night closes gently around you, a soft, endless darkness cradling you in perfect, peaceful slumber. Now, the garden no longer needs shape or form, for you carry it within you, a memory of silver mist and quiet stars that lives beneath your heart like a soft, secret glow. The mist has faded into your dreams, blending with them until you can no longer tell where the garden ends and your sleep begins. the herbs, the brook, the owl's call, all part of a lullaby your mind will sing back to you. Whenever the night feels long and lonely, the moon lowers itself behind the far hills. Its gentle light, leaving a pale shimmer on the mist, that will fade with the first blush of dawn. But long after the last star winks out, the warmth of this night will remain curled around you, a hidden comfort waiting in the quiet spaces of your mind. Your breath now drifts so slowly, like a feather falling through soft darkness. Each rise and fall rocking you deeper. Each pause a soft, weightless moment where peace grows deeper still. Your thoughts stretch and thin like threads of morning fog, unspooling into darkness where only dreams remain. Dreams of starlit meadows, of candlelit cottages, of warm arms waiting to hold you safe until the dawn. No more words are needed. No more sounds break the hush. Only your own steady breath, the soft pulse of your heart, and the memory of the herb witch's blessing, whispering endlessly through the quiet night. Sleep deeply, dream sweetly, wake gently, and know that wherever you go, peace will follow. The world around you is now a soft, limitless space, where the garden's hush and the moon's silver light have dissolved into one gentle, drifting warmth. You feel as if you are floating beyond time, weightless, unburdened, suspended in the sweetest darkness. Every breath you take is a soft breeze whispering across midnight fields. Every exhale a slow ripple spreading out over a still, moonlit lake. The air holds no chill now, only a gentle, embracing coolness that soothes every inch of your body, easing you deeper and deeper into slumber. You sense the herb witch's presence, no longer as a figure in robes, but as a feeling of safety and kindness that glows at the center of your dreams. Her voice is only an echo now, a soft murmur woven into the night air itself. You are safe, you are loved, you may rest. The garden, the mist, the moon, all become soft memories your heart holds close. Memories that will wait for you whenever you close your eyes and long for a quiet place to let your worries slip away. And so you sink even further, past the last shreds of wakefulness, into a deep, peaceful ocean of sleep, where dreams move slowly like drifting clouds, and every moment is hushed, warm, and gentle. The night's hush grows so complete that it feels like the world has fallen into a perfect pause, a stillness meant just for you, so you can rest without fear, so you can dream without interruption, so you can wake renewed as dawn's light first brushes the sky. There, at the edge of your final waking breath, you hear, or perhaps only feel, the softest words of all, like a feather's kiss on your heart. Good night, sweet dreamer. Sleep deeply. Dream sweetly. Wake gently. And carry this peace with you always. Even as the stars begin to dim, their quiet glow lingers like gentle embers above the mist. Each point of light a promise that the world remains vast, ancient, and kind, a sky of endless possibility waiting beyond your dreams. The moon's last silver curve dips beneath the horizon, its soft farewell brushing your cheek, like a mother's kiss, a reminder that while it sleeps beyond the hills, it will return to watch over you when darkness falls again. The mist, now touched with faint hints of dawn, curls tighter around you, a final protective blanket woven from night air, fragrant herbs, and the memory of whispered blessings. You feel your body heavier than ever, perfectly still, perfectly warm, as if the earth itself holds you in its slow, patient heartbeat. Every sound has hushed completely. No brook babbles, no leaves rustle, no crickets sing, just a deep, perfect quiet, where your breath is the only movement. In a world paused for your rest, your dreams begin to flicker in soft images. A hidden meadow filled with moonflowers blooming only for you. A path lined with candles that glow with warm welcome. A stone hearth crackling with comfort in a small cottage waiting beyond the mist. Each dream folds into the next like petals of a night-blooming rose. Layers of peace that deepen with every heartbeat, carrying you further from the day's worries and into the sweetest, deepest part of sleep. The herb witch's blessing echoes faintly in your mind. A final, feather-like caress. You are safe, you are loved, you are home. And with that, the night's lullaby ends not with words, but with a silence so soft, so warm, that it feels like you have always belonged here, in this moonlit garden of sleep, where peace flows like silver mist, and dreams drift as gently as falling stars. The garden's edges blur completely into darkness, a soft, infinite space where the shapes of herbs and stones melt into the shadows, where the silver mist and pale stars become part of the same gentle dreamscape. Your breath is now the only sound, a slow, tender tide that rises and falls so softly. It barely stirs the quiet air around you, each inhale filling you with the lingering warmth of the herb witch's hush, each exhale sinking you deeper into the cool, dark cradle of sleep. A thin line of dawn's blue begins to bloom on the far horizon, so faint and delicate that it barely touches the silver mist, yet promising the sun will come, that the world will warm again. That morning will find you rested and safe. But for now, the night holds you still, perfectly, sweetly still, wrapped in the garden's old magic, in moonlight's last lingering glow, in the hush of earth that has rocked countless dreamers into peace. The stars above you flicker softly, not in farewell, but like sleepy eyes blinking closed, each one a light going out with a promise, to return when the night next calls. And as you drift, so deep, so lightless, so far beyond thought or worry, you carry with you the memory of this moonlit garden, a quiet haven always waiting behind your eyelids. The final blessing comes not as a word, but as a soft warmth that blooms in your chest and spreads through your body like dawn's first light, a knowing that you are safe, that you are loved, that the quiet of the night will never truly leave you. And now, dear dreamer, rest fully, sleep deeply, dream sweetly, and wake gently. The mist has grown nearly transparent now, as if it knows dawn is stirring beyond the hills. Yet it clings protectively around you, a final, delicate veil between your resting mind and the bright world waiting beyond morning's first light. The stars above are fading one by one, tiny candles snuffed by the slow approach of day. Yet each winks out with a promise that night's peace can always return, that sleep will welcome you again whenever you need its quiet arms. The garden's shapes are lost entirely now, blending into the dark as though they were never separate, from the earth's soft curves, from the night's endless hush, from the timeless pulse of the world itself. Your breath is so slow, it's like a lullaby drawn out, between heartbeats, each inhale gathering the last wisps of moonlit mist, each exhale releasing you deeper into sleep's sweet, soft abyss. In the distance, a single bird sings a tentative note, not yet the chorus of dawn, but a quiet reminder that a new day is waiting, patient and warm. Yet in this final moment, the world remains yours alone, the hush of the herb witch's garden still enfolding you, the softness of the mist still stroking your skin, the moon's faded light still lingering in your dreams. No words remain now, only the gentle certainty that peace has settled so deeply into you that it will stay, carried in your chest like a tiny flame. You can kindle whenever night feels long, and with the last soft breath of the garden's night, the herb witch's blessing becomes your own, a silent, shimmering promise that wherever you sleep, you are watched over, you are held, you are loved,